Hello, I'm Andy and I'm going to read to you a program called Tarot Monthly Horoscope for October 2018, and this is for you coming from Virgo. And I'm going to shuffle my tarot cards, and the first card that I'm going to pull will be for your first 15 days of October, and I'm going to talk to you firstly about your job for you coming from Virgo. Now, this is a card that says if you're looking for short-term changes, it's not very good for you. It's better to think long-term in this first 15 days of October. So, is it better for you to stay at your place of work or to make changes? You have to study. If you want to make changes, you have to study the situation of whether that place would be a long-term benefit for you or not. If you feel that you just want to leave the job right now for the sake of leaving it and expect to do something short-term, then it will not be beneficial for you. So the bottom line is, I would suggest that you stay on to your older job, the job that you have now, rather than wanting to risk anything. Because the chances are, if you make a change now, in the first 15 days, in the next couple of months, you will have to make another change. So it's better to stay put. Let me now talk to you, shuffle the cards again, and talk to you about your area of business. So let's talk of your area of business. And for you coming from Virgo, well, it says, in this 15 days, whatever you get will not be very stable. You have to plan and study the situation on a long-term basis. Again, it's all short-term problems and long-term goodness. So you have to be careful that in this 15 days, you may be tempted to change into a line of business or to enter into a new form of business, and that would not be entirely stable for you. So I would suggest that what you do is study the situation of a new offering of business, and therefore think about it and leave it alone for the first 15 days if you can. If you have to hurry it, then you have a problem, because you may have a deadline whether you accept the offer or not. That would be a problem. So, but to play safe, I would say during this first 15 days, you should be more careful than anything else. It's a good long-term card in the sense that long-term, whatever you plan to do in this 15 days, first 15 days of October, is going to prove that you have done the right move. Now, regarding your general finances, I'm going to shuffle these cards, shuffle them again, and let me take the first card from here, so general finances. Your general finances show there is more money going out than money coming in. Yes, there is a chance of money coming in later, but not in this first 15 days of October. So if you are hoping for a bank account or your bank manager to help you, or for new people coming to put money into your business, I don't think it's going to work. So you'll have to be very cautious there. Okay? All right. Now let's talk about your romance area. In your romance area, I'm going to shuffle these cards now, and for the first 15 days of October, for you coming from Virgo. Well, basically this card says that you're wishing for the moon, which means nothing very solid is happening for you in the area of romance. And if by chance you should have a new romance found in this first 15 days of October, be very careful. It's not something real. It's like a dream. It's something more in your mentalness than your emotionalness. So tell yourself that to play safe, what you think may be true love may be very short-term infatuation. So hold your horses and don't want to give yourself away too quickly in the first 15 days when new romance is concerned. Let's talk of a card which will talk of your older romance, which is ongoing romance, and let's see what happens there. Well, this is most stable. This is most stable. And for you coming from Virgo, the first 15 days says that stability is very possible, except for there is a difference of opinion And I would say there's a difference of financial opinion as well. So something to do with finances is not very steady for you with your ongoing partner. Is it the sharing of expenses? It is something like that. So there's a little bit of disagreement. I would say that this card is more or less at 60% a problem and 40% only goodness. So it's better for you if you value your romance area, then it's better for you to work very hard towards it and not create problems. Let me pull a card for your marriage. And this card for your marriage for the first 15 days of October, that's what it says now. This is a good card. Anything long term, like marriage for example, the stability is there. In this first 15 days of October, again in your marriage area there's some differences about money. And it's about long-term concerns which are troubling you or your marriage partner in these 15 days. So try to discuss this very plainly with your partner. And it's only all about finances, they can be solved. And if you value your marriage very much, don't get too excited if money has gone wrong somewhere. Try to be a bit cautious. Also, there are situations of long-termness in this card, which means that long-term issues are also being spoken about. Is it children's education? Is it things like that? It's back to money. So it's only 15 days that you have to deal with the situation, and we'll see what happens in the last 15 days a bit later on in the program. Now let's talk of general family areas which include your parents, and include your siblings, and include your aunties and your uncles. Now, the card is very clear. It says the most important person to you is your marriage partner, full stop. Everybody else should, whatever they say, you should not heed their advice. So perhaps you shouldn't even ask your parents or your siblings, brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles, what they need to advise you on about your area of marriage or romance. Just handle it between you and your partner will do. Now I'm going to go to your last 15 days of October, and my question would be regarding your job in the last 15 days of October for you coming from Virgo. Oh, it's a fire card. It's a fire card, which says that you have to be very careful at your area of job what happens, because suddenly things can be ignited. So you have to take the soft approach in the last 15 days of October, whether with your workmates or whether with your bosses or superiors of any kind. Otherwise, there will be a big clash of opinion and provocation will go out of hand. There are also signs on this card that say that you can get unexpected good luck as well. So I suppose if you behave well and if you don't show any kind of provocation, you are going to attract some help. So it's worthwhile controlling yourself. Now regarding business, let me talk about business to you in the last 15 days of October for you coming from Virgo. And this card about business, now let me see. The first warning is don't be too daring, don't want to expand too quickly, don't let your impulsiveness get in the way, don't be impatient and hasty. So it just means slow down is better than get up and go fast. That's about your business in the last 15 days of October. The chances of growth are there, but they are quite small growth, I see, not very big growth. And so from this card, my advice to you would be in the last 15 days of September where business is concerned, to grow slowly, don't be too active or overactive. The situation is quite stable for you, and so you'll be able to do well enough. Let me now talk about your general finances for the last 15 days. Now, this is not a very good card. It says if you are going around hunting for money, you are not going to get it. So that simply means that you do need money and you are not going to get it. And that would mean you are not able to get to do what you want in your area of business. So I would say, talking about business, is better to you to consolidate, which means look after what you have, rather than to want plans to expand. That's a very clear message of this card. Now for your last 15 days, let me talk to you about your area of romance. And let's see what the card says for you. Well, the romance part has showing that you are going to have many changes in your area of romance. So there could be a new romance for you if you're looking for that. And the new romance will come in a very fiery way and an angry way, because the sign of the planet Mars is here and it's raining on top of it, which means that the situation is not very comfortable for you. And the other thing I would talk about romance from this card is that you don't really know the situation you are getting into. So overall, I would say caution about this person who wants to enter into your life in the last 15 days of October. Let's talk about your marriage and see how that is going for you in the last 15 days. It's a card that says that differences of opinion are going to be seen as very strong. And differences of opinion mean that whatever you try to do suddenly creates an opposition or a confrontational state. However much you want to take the soft approach, your message is not getting through. So in your marriage area, I would say, don't bring up any touchy issues in the last 15 days of October. Leave them for another period of time. It's only 15 days. And if your partner brings it up, whether the romance partner or the marriage partner brings it up, try to handle it very easily, very slowly, very carefully. Because somehow your messages or the messages of your partner to you are not getting through, which means the misunderstanding or the lack of understanding is very strong. So solutions are not going to be found. General family areas, let's see. That includes your parents, your siblings, brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles. Let's see how they could be involved in solving any of your problems your last 15 days for you coming from Virgo. Well, I would rather you do not ask them, whether your parents, siblings or any relatives, for solutions for yourself in this last 15 days, because it shows complications. It shows that communications will go very bad, which means that people might talk about you and you won't like it. And there's a sign of the new moon, which means that new problems may start to appear. So I would say keep your siblings, parents, aunties and uncles out of your affairs. Now I'm going to talk to you about your lucky ages. There will be some ages born in the period of Virgo that will get very, very lucky in this month of October. And let's see what the ages are. And for you from Virgo, it's a beautiful card and a long-term card, and therefore I would go for the ages of, if you happen to be the ages of 17 or 26 or 35 or 44 or 53, 44 or 53, that's right, or 62 or 71 or 80, you're going to be one very, very lucky person in the period of Virgo, and you're going to get plenty of good luck coming your way. And you're going to feel that whatever you do is going to be well treated and well received by others. So it's a very good card for these ages which I've just mentioned. If you are not of these ages, you'll have to see me for a very personal reading of 90 minutes, which will be based on your date of birth and your time of birth and looking at your palms, and also face reading you, and I'll use Kabbalistic cards if I need to. And therefore, you'll be a person then who will know your next 7 or 8 years in full detail in all areas of your life, but I'll talk to you about later. It will cost you USD 50. And so these are the ages which are going to be very good for you. Now I'm going to talk about your lucky dates. Lucky dates in the month of October for you coming from Virgo. It's a very powerful card of Uranus. So I'm going to say that your lucky dates are going to be the 8th, the 17th and the 26th. 8th, 17th and 26th. Very powerful dates, loaded with a lot of information, a lot of help, a lot of good contacts, a lot of good possibilities in all areas of your life. So bookmark these dates, find your solutions, meet people morning, afternoon, evening, night time. Chase for the romance you want, and you'll see that it'll come your way as well. Help your family, help your marriage area, 8th, 17th and 26th. Going to give you plenty of help, plenty of solutions and plenty of rewards as well. And now I'm going to talk to you about your lucky colors. There'll be certain colors which are going to shine and make your aura very powerful in this month of October. And the wonderful color is between dark blue and between black. So anything from dark blue to black is going to be very lucky for you in this whole month of October. And you should wear plenty of this dark blue to black, so that you get the vibrations of certain good planets for yourself, making you very lucky in everything. Now lastly, I'm going to talk to you about your health based on these cards to see what it might say for you in Virgo. Now the first area of worry, of concern is accidents. You may have accidents in the month of October for you coming from Virgo, or you may have glandular problems. For the women, the ovaries; for the men, the prostate gland, then the pancreas, and then the thyroid. So some of these areas which I've just mentioned are going to be a worrisome thing for you. And the other thing about your feet also are showing some danger to your feet or trouble with your feet. So these are the things which I can find may be a problem. Now I'm already Skyping and I'm charging USD 50 for a 90-minute Skype session. And during this 90 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about your next 7, 8 or 9 years. And I will cover all areas of your life, age by age, calendar year by calendar year. I'll give you a lot of information, all about your lucky lottery numbers based on your date of birth, time of birth, and looking at your palms, and your lucky colors and your lucky directions and your lucky gemstones and your lucky days, a lot of more information. And so with all this information, you'll be